This is Nightline and I'm Liyana Hassanel. News making the headlines. Government orders immediate probe into claims of Israeli ship in Johor port. And former JB mayor charged with bribery amounting to 1.55 million ringgit. The headlining story. The government has ordered for an immediate investigations into claims that a vessel from Israel-based shipping company Zim had docked at a port in Iskandar Putri, Johor. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi stressed that Malaysia strictly adheres to its policy of having no diplomatic ties and trade agreements with the Zionist regime.
Jika ada barangan daripada Israel itu yang berada di mana-mana pelabuhan di Malaysia dengan menggunakan pihak ketiga, perkara ini kita harus lakukan pemantauan dan saya fikir pihak lembaga pelabuhan dan juga pihak custom harus bertindak dengan segera.
Zahid said this to the media after opening the Bagan Datuk Police Headquarters near Hutan Melintang on Sunday. He added that the issue is not only about trade, but also about how such stringent regulations have been flouted, if true. On Saturday, Kota Iskandar Assemblyman Datuk Panda Ahmad said he was shocked to receive reports from constituents that there was a container belonging to Zim at the port. Early last month, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim had denied that Israeli company-owned ships were allowed to dock in Malaysia, saying it was the government's firm stand to bar such ships' entry. Meanwhile, Johor Works, Transportation, Infrastructure and Communication Committee Chairman Muhammad Fazli Muhammad Saleh said the state government is awaiting a full report on the probe into the alleged presence of containers from an Israeli shipping company at a port in Iskandar Putri.
Buat masa ni sebab laporan yang setakat kita terima pun belum lengkap. Jadi kita pun belum ada cadangan-cadangan apa yang perlu kita lakukan di peringkat Kerajaan Negeri Johor. Kita masih lagi menunggu hasil siasatan seperti yang dilaporkan oleh Yang Berhormat Timbalan Perdana Menteri dan juga Yang Berhormat Menteri Pengangkutan. Kita tengah menunggu juga laporan daripada pihak Lembaga Pelabuhan Johor, pihak port dan ulasan-ulasan lah.
He also stressed that the state government views the matter seriously, adding that its stance aligns with the federal government to not engage in any relationship with Israel. On another matter, while police operations are becoming more efficient, they still require more advanced equipment to effectively combat crimes. Zahid said this is because criminal activities have evolved and the police must stay ahead of irresponsible individuals who use sophisticated technology to commit crimes.
Kita harus mempunyai peralatan. Kita harus mempunyai sistem. Kita harus mempunyai beberapa teknologi yang terbaru kerana jenayah yang berlaku di negara kita, di negara jiran dan serantau dan seluruh dunia ia berkembang mengikut perubahan teknologi.
The Deputy Prime Minister also pointed out that organised crimes, cross-border crimes and cybercrimes, which are becoming prevalent, must be eradicated, and the police must have the upper hand to eliminate such crimes. In this regard, the use of artificial intelligence, AI, and Internet of Things are among the important elements that should be provided to the police force. The former mayor of the Johor Bahru City Council, MBJB, has been charged at the Johor Bahru Sessions Court for allegedly soliciting and receiving bribes amounting to 1.5 million ringgit. 64-year-old Datuk Adib Azhari Daud pleaded not guilty to 12 charges of accepting bribes as an inducement for helping contractors get projects approved by the City Council. He claimed trial after all charges were read to him in front of Sessions Judge Siti Nur Aida Sulaiman. He is accused of having received payments of sums between 10,000 ringgit and 250,000 ringgit from a middleman for helping contractors get projects in areas under the jurisdiction of MBJB. The money was allegedly an inducement for the accused to help get contracts for sewer pipe replacement and maintenance, the maintenance of a centralized sewage treatment plant in Sungai Seget, trimming trees, and landscape maintenance. If found guilty, he faces a maximum jail term of 20 years and a fine of 10,000 ringgit, or 5 times the value of the bribes, whichever is higher upon conviction. The court set bail at 120,000 ringgit with 2 sureties. The court also set July 3rd for the next mention of the case. No further arrests have been made in the murder case of autistic child Zain Ryan Abdul Matin. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein said further investigations are still being carried out against the 2 suspects, who are also the victim's parents, who are currently in remand.
Buat masa ni itu je dua. Betul je. Okey, baik. Terima kasih.
He also requested for all quarters to remain patient and to give the police space to thoroughly investigate the murder of the child. Police had earlier arrested the parents of the autistic boy at their family home in Puncak Alam, Selangor. The couple, both 28, was arrested at 10:05 a.m. on Friday under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder and have been placed under a 7-day remand order. Meanwhile, police have seized the phones belonging to Zain Ryan's parents to facilitate the investigation. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan said the confiscation of the devices were in accordance with the standard operating procedures in carrying out such an investigation. However, Hussein said he could not divulge further information on the matter. 6-year-old Zain Ryan was reported missing on December 5th last year, resulting in a massive search operation in the vicinity of his home at apartment Idaman in Damansara Damai. His body was discovered near a stream about 200 meters away the following day. Autopsy results revealed signs of self-defense wounds, while the cause of death was from injuries to the neck believed to be caused by strangulation. Police have recorded the statements of more than 200 people in connection with the case. The Control of Smoking Products for Public Health Act 2024 will be enforced starting this year. Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said the anti-smoking bill, which was approved by the Dewan Negara in December, was gazetted in February.
Kita harapkan dalam tahun ini, sama ada tengah tahun ataupun selewat-lewatnya, sudah kita wartakan Februari tahun 2024. Ya.
Dr. Zulkifli was speaking to reporters at the World No Tobacco Day 2024. According to him, the act includes provisions such as prohibiting the sale and purchase of tobacco products, smoking materials, or tobacco substitute products, as well as providing any smoking services to minors. He said a total of 26 notices were issued to individuals for selling the products to children last year, while 2 similar notices were issued this year. The National Health and Morbidity Survey found that the percentage of teenagers aged 13 to 17 who smoke conventional cigarettes decreased from 13.8% in 2017 to 6.2% in 2022. Unfortunately, he said vaping or the usage of e-cigarettes has increased from 9.8% in 2017 to 14.9% in 2022. The remains of the Malaysian climber who died after being stranded on Mount Denali in Alaska will be repatriated as soon as a post-mortem examination is completed. The Foreign Ministry, in a statement, said the body of 37-year-old Zulkifli Yusuf was successfully brought down with the assistance of local authorities and is currently at a local medical facility awaiting post-mortem examination. Earlier on Sunday, Zulkifli's body was brought down at 8:30 a.m. local time and was taken to a hospital in Anchorage. Previously, it was reported that 3 climbers had been stranded on Mount Denali, the tallest peak in North America, since Tuesday. Zulkifli died last Wednesday while seeking shelter at a place called the Football Field Cave Shelter at Mount Denali. Meanwhile, 2 other Malaysian climbers, Muhammad Ilham Isha and Zainuddin Lot, both aged 47, were still being treated in hospital for frostbite. Still to come, North Korea to stop sending trash-filled balloons into South. Don't go away.
AI robotik sahabat masa hadapan. Teknologi tanaman dalam bangunan, jaminan bekalan makanan. Kertas serat nanas sumbang ekonomi masyarakat setempat. Seni kontemporari dalam inspirasi generasi sempena ulang tahun TV3 ke-40. Revolusi industri, warnai jiwa.
Woi, tu apa tu?
Pelaku ni memang zalim, memang tak ada sifat kemanusiaan.
Kematian si mati adalah berpunca dari sesak nafas akibat kesanjerutan di leher.
Inspirasi generasi bersama Buletin 3.
Dua jiwa saling mengikat janji.
또 너만 나를 지킬까 봐 무서웠는데 너무 기뻐. 내가 널 지켰잖아.
Adakah cinta akan pergi saat takdir tidak lagi menyatu?
내 기억 지우지 않겠다. 난 평생 못 돌아올 수도 있어. 계속 기다려야만 하잖아.
서로를 기억하고 있으면 내 시간보다 더 길 거라고.
Legend of the Blue Sea setiap Selasa hingga Khamis 11 malam. Syoknya berke-drama di jam sarang TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
The foreign news. Two far-right Israeli ministers have threatened to resign and bring down the governing coalition of its leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, if he accepts a peace proposal laid out by US President Joe Biden. It was said that they had made it clear to Netanyahu that they would not be a part of a government that will agree to the proposed outline without destroying Hamas. Netanyahu has also signaled he is not ready either, casting doubt over Biden's proposal. On Friday, Biden unveiled a three-phase Israeli proposal to end the conflict in Gaza, which he claimed would pair a release of hostages with a full and complete ceasefire. Meanwhile, more than 120 bodies of Palestinians were recovered from the rubble on Sunday, 2 days after the Zionist regime left Jabalia camp in the northern Gaza Strip. Emergency crew and civil defense teams reportedly recovered the bodies by the roadside and beneath of the rubble of collapsed buildings in the camp. According to Gaza's health ministry, non-stop Israeli attacks on Gaza has killed at least 60 people in the last 24 hours. North Korea on Sunday said it would stop sending trash-filled balloons across the border into South Korea, claiming the disgusting missiles had been an effective countermeasure against propaganda sent by anti-regime activists. The North announced it will now temporarily suspend its campaign after scattering what it claimed was 15 tons of waste paper, saying it had been a pure countermeasure. However, Pyongyang added that if South Korea resumes the distribution of anti-North Korean leaflets, it will respond by scattering 100 times the amount of waste paper and filth. Since Tuesday, the North has sent nearly 1,000 balloons carrying bags of rubbish containing cigarette butts, cloth, paper waste and plastic. Seoul has called the latest provocation from its nuclear-armed neighbor irrational and low class, warning it would take strong countermeasures unless the North called off the balloon bombardment. Thailand's Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin is seeking to reverse the country's landmark cannabis policy by reclassifying the plant as a narcotic and limit its use to medical and health purposes. According to the Health Ministry, it's planned to brand cannabis as a Category 5 narcotic again, which will make it a crime to possess and consume the herb. Its minister, Somsak Thepsutin, on Saturday said a near six-fold jump in cost of cannabis for medical purposes triggered the need to restrict consumption of the herb. He stated that total medical expenditure for illnesses treated with cannabis jumped between 407 million and 574 million US dollars after the government decriminalized its use 2 years ago. Somsak added that the use of cannabis for recreational purposes has also been found to damage brain development and lead to depression and suicide. At least 33 Indian polling staff died on the last day of voting from heat stroke in just one state after scorching temperatures gripped swathes of the country. According to the Chief Electoral Officer for the northern state of Uttar Pradesh, the victims, which include security guards and sanitation staff, died due to the heat. This after the India Meteorological Department, IMD, reported that temperatures in the region had reached 46.9 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi looks set to win a third straight landslide election victory after voting ended on Saturday. Exit polls showed he was well on track to triumph, and Modi himself was certain he had prevailed. The results will be formally announced on Tuesday. Flash floods, mudslides and falling trees have killed at least 14 people in Sri Lanka as the island nation is battered by monsoon storms. The country's disaster centre on Sunday said among the victims, some were drowned, including 3 members of the same family, which were swept away near the capital, Colombo. Others were buried alive in mudslides, including an 11-year-old girl and a 20-year-old man, while 9 other people were crushed and killed when trees fell on them in 7 districts since the monsoon intensified on May 21st. Authorities said 20 out of the country's 25 districts were affected by heavy rain, warning people living on the banks of main rivers to move to higher ground. As more rain was forecast, the government also ordered all schools to remain shut on Monday. Djokovic on track to win 25th Grand Slam. Sports right after this breather.
AI robotik sahabat masa hadapan. Teknologi tanaman dalam bangunan, jaminan bekalan makanan. Kertas serat nanas sumbang ekonomi masyarakat setempat. Seni kontemporari dalam inspirasi generasi sempena ulang tahun TV3 ke-40. Revolusi industri, warnai jiwa.
Ulat KLIA jerat pelancong asing.
Berapa ni, Cah? 300.
Pasang tonto sekat pergerakan JPJ.
Kalau ada JPJ, ada buat operasi. Ada yang beritahu katanya ada kawan kena.
Kita tengoklah, lain clear kita ambil, lain tak clear kita lepak lah.
Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
2 jiwa saling mengikat janji.
또 너만 나를 지킬까 봐 무서웠는데 너무 기뻐. 내가 널 지켰잖아.
Adakah cinta akan pergi saat takdir tidak lagi menyatu?
내 기억 지우지 않겠다.
난 평생 못 돌아올 수도 있어. 계속 기다려야만 하잖아.
서로를 기억하고 있으면 내 시간보다 더 길 거라고.
Legend of the Blue Sea setiap Selasa hingga Khamis 11 malam. Syoknya per K-drama di Jam Sarang TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with sports. Tennis, the 2024 Roland Garros. Novak Djokovic's title defense and his hold on world number 1 are still alive after he outlasted Italian Lorenzo Musetti in the 3rd round on Sunday. The reigning champion showcased the iron will that has made him one of the game's greatest by clinching a thrilling 7-5, 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-love victory against Musetti. The 37-year-old, who is bidding for his 25th Grand Slam title, will next face Argentinian Francisco Cerundolo. In another thriller match, Alexander Zverev survived a marathon battle to beat Talon Quicksport 3-6, 6-4, 6-2, 4-6, 7-6, keeping his hopes of a first Grand Slam title alive. The world number 4's next opponent in the 4th round will be 13th seeded Holger Rune. Also advancing to the next round was 5th seeded Daniil Medvedev. The 28-year-old Russian overcame Tomasz Machach 7-6, 7-5, 1-6, 6-4 in a match lasting over 3 hours. Up next, Medvedev will battle Australia's Alex de Minaur, who defeated Jan-Lennart Struff of Germany 4-6, 6-4, 6-3, 6-3. Moving on to MotoGP, the 2024 Italian Grand Prix. Defending world champion Francesco Bagnaia of Ducati won the sprint event and Mugello on Saturday, topping the podium ahead of Spanish pair Marc Marquez and Pedro Acosta. Bagnaia and Enea Bastianini had a dream start as they moved up to first and second, but pole sitter Jorge Martin quickly took back the second place. Bastianini then attempted to overtake Martin once again, but they collided on turn 1, leading to the red Ducati crashing out. Just when the championship leader was trying to chase Bagnaia, Marquez overtook him with 6 laps to go. Martin struggled to match Marquez's pace and lost control before sliding into the gravel, a gift for Acosta, who moved up to the third and final podium spot. With this result, Bagnaia won his first sprint event of the season, closing the gap to Martin to 27 points in the standings. On to football, the UEFA Champions League. Tens of thousands of Real Madrid supporters gathered across Madrid as they celebrated their club's victory at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, as well as at the iconic Cibeles Square on Sunday. The Madridistas were waving flags and chanting songs as their beloved club were crowned Kings of Europe for a record-extending 15th time, following a 2-0 victory over Borussia Dortmund. In London, hundreds of fans roared with delight on the banks of the River Thames as they watched Dani Carvajal and Vinicius Jr. score late goals to clinch the game. Since losing to Liverpool in the 1981 final, Real have triumphed in all 9 Champions League finals they have contested. They have now won the continent's most prestigious club competition more than twice as often as the next best team. Coming up, customs enforcement assistants plead not guilty to graft charges. Don't go away.
AI robotik sahabat masa hadapan. Teknologi tanaman dalam bangunan, jaminan bekalan makanan. Kertas serat nanas sumbang ekonomi masyarakat setempat. Seni kontemporari dalam inspirasi generasi sempena ulang tahun TV3 ke-40. Revolusi industri, warnai jiwa.
MHI dengan topik menarik.
Bersempena Hari Keputeraan Yang di-Pertuan Agong ke-17, kenali raja yang dekat di hati rakyat ini.
Kesihatan dengan diskusi kecacatan pada jantung sejak dari dalam rahim.
Gelora udara, apakah yang anda perlu tahu ketika berdepan dengan situasi cemas ini?
Soal Wang membincangkan tentang subsidi diesel Budi Madani.
MHI 9.30 pagi, Isnin hingga Jumaat.
Juga stream melalui Tonton.
Dua jiwa saling mengikat janji.
또 너만 나를 지킬까 봐 무서웠는데 너무 기뻐. 내가 널 지켰잖아.
Adakah cinta akan pergi saat takdir tidak lagi menyatu?
내 기억 지우지 않겠다.
난 평생 못 돌아올 수도 있어. 계속 기다려야만 하잖아.
서로를 기억하고 있으면 내 시간보다 더 길 거라.
Legend of the Blue Sea, setiap Selasa hingga Khamis 11 malam. Syoknya per-K-drama di Jam Sarang TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. In Kelantan, 2 customs enforcement assistants were charged in the Kota Baru Sessions Court with accepting bribes amounting to 4,300 ringgit. Muhammad Faizul Mat Nasir and Muhammad Rasul Muhammad Zukri, both 34, pleaded not guilty after the charges were read separately before Judge Ahmad Bazli Baharudin. Muhammad Faizul was charged with accepting bribes amounting to 1,750 ringgit on July 16, 2020, while Muhammad Rasul was charged with 2 counts of accepting bribes totaling 2,550 ringgit on September 8 and 13, 2020. All the offences were allegedly committed at the Maybank Kota Baru branch. They were alleged to have received bribes from the owner of a company by transferring money online to their respective bank accounts as an inducement to not inspect the company's lorries ferrying goods out of KLIA cargo. They were charged under Section 17(a) of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act, which provides for a maximum jail term of 20 years or a fine if convicted. The court allowed Muhammad Faisal and Muhammad Rasul bail of 7,000 ringgit and 10,000 ringgit respectively in one surety and ordered both accused to surrender their passports and to report to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission office in Putrajaya once a month. July 21st has been set for mention of the case. A soldier and his wife, who was 6 months pregnant with twins, were killed, while their 2 other children were injured in a road accident in Guamusang, Kelantan on Sunday. District Police Chief Superintendent Sit Chun Fu confirmed that the couple died at the scene of the crash at Jalan Guamusang, Lojing at 9:35 a.m. In a statement, SIC said that the deceased were identified as 43-year-old Ridwan Effendi Yusuf and Suhana Khairuddin, aged 37. Based on initial investigations, the car driven by Ridwan Effendi was travelling from Ipoh towards Guamusang. It is believed that the driver lost control of the vehicle, which veered off the left side of the road and crashed into a roadside drainage wall. The impact of the crash also caused the driver to be thrown from the vehicle. Their children, Kaisara Damia and Akid Darwish, aged 15 and 9 respectively, sustained injuries to their faces and legs and were taken to Guamusang Hospital for treatment. The 2 bodies were also taken to the same hospital for post-mortem, and the cause of the crash is being investigated under the Road Transport Act. 2 men were killed in a shootout with police at the Tanjung Malim rest area of the North-South Expressway on Saturday night. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan said the Hulu Selangor Operations Room received a report on the shooting incident at 11:32 p.m. Federal Criminal Investigation Department policemen, assisted by their Perak counterparts, had earlier tailed a grey-coloured Proton Wajah with occupants who were acting suspiciously. When the suspects realized they were being tailed, they tried to escape by entering the NSE, heading northwards. The police team chased the suspects until they entered the Tanjung Malim rest area, where they managed to stop the suspect's car. At that point, the suspects fired several shots at the police, forcing police personnel to fire back. Checks found the 2 male suspects died at the scene following the shootout. One of the suspects had a criminal record with 23 prior offences and was wanted by the police for 6 other cases. The identity of the other person has yet to be established. The case was being investigated under Section 307 of the Penal Code for attempted murder and Section 8 of the Arms Act 1960 for possession of a firearm and ammunition without licence. As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look as the Ottawa Chinatown Night Market kicks off in Canada. With a wide variety of delicious street food and multicultural performances, this 3-day event is a celebration of culture, community and culinary delights. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for tuning in and take care, Malaysia.